Let's go to James in Richmond, Virginia first. He's listening on the web. Hi, James.
Hey, Hank, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, my question is about something about that there's nowhere in the Bible where it speaks about a secret coming. But when I read 1 Thessalonians 4:17, it said, "For you yourself know perfectly the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night." Well, that sounds to me that it is a secret coming. What do you think about that?
Well, you're talking about 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, but read all of it. There's a loud command, there's a voice of the archangel, there's the trumpet call of God, and not only that, there's nothing in this passage whatsoever that has Jesus Christ coming down, hovering in midair, changing course and taking people up to heaven. This is a great and glorious passage on resurrection. A pre-tribulational rapture scenario is being read into the text. It's not being exegeted from the text. The context itself tells you that. Brothers, we do not want you to be ignorant about those who fall asleep or those who die, or to grieve like the rest of men who have no hope. Why? Because Jesus died and rose again, and so we believe that God will bring with Jesus those who have fallen asleep in him. So Paul is comforting people, saying those who have died, they're going to be resurrected, and we're going to meet them in the air, and so we'll be with the Lord forever, which is to say that we're going to welcome the King. And as you've correctly pointed to the book of Revelation, that King is not going up. He's coming down. He's going to be with us. Heaven and earth are going to be conjoined. That is the message. It's not as though heaven is up there somewhere. It is this universe transformed. It's God's space filling our place, heaven and earth now as one.
Yeah, but Hank, in verse 3 it said, "For when they said peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them, and the labor pains upon the pregnant woman, and they should escape." That sounds like this is the parallelism of Matthew 24. But then it said, "But you, brother," in verse 4, "are not in darkness, so this day should not overtake you as a thief." So, which means that, it seems the church will not experience any tribulation because of the fact that it's saying that it sounds like a secret coming, and then they're going to be void of that.
Well, I don't think it does sound like a secret coming at all, and Matthew 24 can't be used as a corollary because Matthew 24 is not talking about Christ's second coming. I know that there are a lot of skeptics and infidels in the world that say that Jesus is a false apocalyptic prophet because they think he was talking about the second coming, and it didn't happen, and therefore he's a false prophet. But Jesus is not doing that at all. The problem with the skeptic and the atheist and those who hate the Bible is that they don't know the biblical language. When you read the language of Jesus Christ as a Christian, you're very familiar with it because you've encountered it over and over again in the Bible. If you read the Old Testament, you know that the metaphor of sun, moon, and stars is judgment language. Joel uses it, and Isaiah uses it, and it's used for judgment on the nations. And now Jesus, the heir to the linguistic riches of the Old Testament prophets and a greater than prophet than them all, is using that language and applying it to what is going to happen when the temple and Jerusalem are destroyed. And the whole context of this is very, very clear because remember, Jesus is leaving the temple and he's walking away, and then his disciples come up to him and call his attention to its buildings. And Jesus says, "Do you see all these things? I tell you the truth. Not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down." Of course, the disciples want to know, when will this happen? What will be the sign of your coming in judgment? Of course, coming language, as we all know, is judgment language as well. And when will be the end of the age of temple sacrifice? I mean, that's the context. They don't have in view the end of the world here. They have in view, when is this going to happen? When the temple is destroyed and sacrifices take place no longer. And Jesus then gives them the context for knowing that this is going to happen within a generation. And he makes that emphatically clear. So to take that now and transport that into the 21st century, I think would be a grave error, and falling into the hands, as it were, of the skeptics and those who do not hold the Bible to be the infallible repository of redemptive revelation.